All participants are muted.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Mike Singer live on the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. It is Saturday, January 11th. I have one light off. There's usually a light right here. I have it off. Actually, I have it on. It's just green instead of white. Little chiller vibes, club singer, for the afternoon. There's going to be no energy today. The vibes are going to be low. We're just going to be hanging out. Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's going to be fired up. I'm sure everyone is just over the moon about Notre Dame playing in the national title game. And here's what's interesting. There was a poll the Four Horsemen podcast did on Twitter a week ago, maybe. And I think the question was which title game has the most aura between the four different options? Your Penn State, Ohio State, Penn State, Texas, or Notre Dame, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas. You guys get it, the drill. And Notre Dame, Texas was voted the most, which I agreed with. Excuse me. No, it was Notre Dame, Ohio State. It was a majority, like 60%. It was Notre Dame, Ohio State. I thought Notre Dame, Texas. Just have a Midwest versus a South team. But on game day, posting a poll on Twitter asking Notre Dame fans which team they wanted the most. They all wanted Texas. And in the show with Goolsby last night, I was like, man, to me, I feel like Texas is a similar football team to Georgia. I mean, I thought that Notre Dame would be able to beat Texas, but I was like, Ohio State, the way they played against Oregon and give me 1 second. Hey, boss, do you mind if I call you back in like an hour? All right, sorry about that. I'm doing a thing right now, a YouTube show actually, so I'll have to give you a call back in an hour. All right, thank you, sir. When that person calls, you take the call and you say, I will call you back. Got to take that call. Call that person back. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Ohio State. The way Ohio State played against Tennessee, who, I remember me and Tim Hyde doing our bracketology thing, predicting the brackets. Tim and I were like, man, this is a coin flip game. Ohio State kicks the crap out of Tennessee. And then Ohio State, Oregon. Oregon was my national championship team. I loved Oregon all season. Shame on me for believing in Oregon. And Ohio State just smacked the Ducks. By the way, folks, here's your call-in show number 605-313-5550. And then you got to punch in the access code. But Mike, it's not working for me. Try again. I don't know what to tell you. It works for everyone else. But watching that game last night, dude, Notre Dame could beat that Ohio State team. The 9.5-point dog thing that's a big number. I know Ohio State covered against Texas. What was that, like a 6 or 7-point game in terms of the spread? But dude, that was a tight game, and Texas was driving out to score, to score and tie the game. Who knows? Maybe they could have gone for 2. That was. Ohio State is beatable. That Texas team is a good team. I liked Ohio State to win. I didn't know if they would cover. And again, they kind of got that little backdoor cover with the Jack Sawyer touchdown. But this Notre Dame team can beat Ohio State. Notre Dame's going to continue to need that magic, right? That offense, defense, special teams, coaching. Little Ryan Day, like, meltdown. Just thinking back to the last 2 games, guys. Georgia, why, with 30 seconds or whatever before halftime, Kirby Smart's team decides to Sorry, just letting some callers in. We got a few queued up. Why Kirby Smart's team decided to throw the ball. RJ open strip sack, Leonard to Collins, touchdown, Notre Dame wins. And then why James Franklin decided to have Drew out. I know that Penn State had that was a rushing attempt, or was it a screen to Singleton? And he picks up some yards. It's like, all right, we got a couple timeouts. We got 30 seconds. Let's go try to kick a field goal and win the game. The decision, though, to throw the ball when Drew Aller was very hot and cold throughout that game, mostly cold, just dumb decision. So maybe Notre Dame gets some of that with Ryan Day. You're going to need a little bit of that kind of magic, right? That Notre Dame makes the opponent pay for a decision. And then, hey, whether it's, a big coaching move by Marcus Freeman, or the coordinators have been fantastic. We don't talk enough about the coordinators. We do talk enough about Golden. Maybe Golden's one we talk enough about, but he probably still doesn't get enough love he deserves. But Mike Denbrock, he deserves his flowers. And then, Notre Dame's going to need to make plays defensively, and it's going to be a really good one. It's going to be a really good game. I don't have a prediction right now for the score prediction, but I would definitely take Notre Dame in the points. Like 9.5, 10 is way too big right now. Let me look at Hard Rock real quick and see what the line is at on Hard Rock. Let's see. CFB playoff 9. So I don't know if it opened at 9, but on Hard Rock specifically, but I'm guessing it dropped down a little bit. 605-313-5550, access code 504959450 pound key. We had a super chat from, and then we're gonna take a call from Josh here in a second. Carl said a few podcasts out there that cover other teams are in full force hate mode when it comes to Notre Dame. It's true. You love them or you hate them, and hate is strong, my friend. Love every minute of it. Carl, appreciate the 10. It's always good to see you in here, Carl. Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, if people just genuinely don't like Notre Dame, that's fine. Do you like Michigan? No, you don't. Do you like Ohio State? No, you don't. It's fine. The problem is the Cam Newtons of the world. Just the real, like, I have a bad take about Notre Dame football because of what Notre Dame was a decade ago, 5-6 years ago, and I don't know what I'm really talking about. I'm just going to hang on to the whole conference thing. Like, who gives a rat's ass about the conference thing right now? It's so stupid. Notre Dame has proven they've belonged in this title game. They beat Indiana. They beat Georgia. They beat Penn State. What the hell are we still talking about? So it's the trolls like that. If you just don't like Notre Dame, that's fine. But it's when you just like really troll that it's annoying. And here's the other thing, Notre Dame fans. Don't tweet. Don't tweet back at Cam Newton. Don't post it on a message board. If you ignore the trolls, it stops spreading it. The more you that's how social media works now. It's all about algorithm. The more a social media post about Cam Newton talking crap about Notre Dame, the more it gets interacted with, whether you're hating it or loving it, the more it gets interacted with, the more it gets pushed. The algorithm says people are interested in this. I'm going to feed it to more people so it can get more and more and more and more. That's how Twitter works. That's how these things work. So if you just ignore it, it helps slow it down. Okay? There you go. Yeah, Carl, appreciate you, brother. All right. Is this Josh, the motivational banker?
Singer, what's happening, my friend?
Is that a yes?
That is me, sir.
All right. What's going on, Mr. Motivational Banker, Ian Book's brother? How's it going?
That's right. Been listening to you for a long time, and I've always told myself since you've had these calls, I was going to call in when it was for a really, really good reason. And playing for a national championship, there's no bigger reason.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All I want to say is that this is my opinion on this. Notre Dame and Ohio State is the best matchup for the first 12-team playoff that you could ask for in any script written for college football.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's storied history, Ohio State's controversies over the past several years with coaching, with players, with losing to Michigan 4 in a row, by the way. The way I look at this game is I look at last year, most recent, not 15 years ago, last year. We have a better overall team and culture than we had last year. I think most fans would agree with me. I think this game's going to come down to what do they have different that they didn't have last year? They have Jeremiah Smith, yes, but they had Marvin Harrison last year. In 2 games, we held the best wide receiver in the country to under 50 yards per game. I think we do that to Jeremiah Smith again this year. I also believe our defense is in a totally different state that they were last year. Our safeties don't drop that pick to end the game. We don't have 10 men on the field. Al Golden is going to cook up something for this defense that Ohio State hasn't seen this year. And everybody out there saying that, oh, we're going to use Michigan's blueprint, that's all well and good. That's too easy for Ohio State to game plan for. Uncle Al and Uncle Mike are going to be doing something that they have not seen yet. And because this is the last game, win, lose, or draw, there is no tomorrow. That makes both teams very dangerous. But I think Marcus Freeman's aggression and his proven coaching in this playoff is going to overshine the born on third base Ryan Day with that Sharpie beard. He's been somebody who has literally lived off of Urban Meyer and previous Ohio State coaches and just raw talent. Yeah. Coaching will outshine raw talent in this game. Notre Dame wins 27-17. I've picked that score for every game since they did it to Indiana. I'm not going to break precedent now. I'll be quiet and let you speak now, sir.
All right, Josh. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in.
You're the man.
Josh, the motivational banker, in all the YouTube chats. I have said before, I don't like, sometimes coaching can only take you so far. I said, quote, I don't care if our Lord and Savior is the head coach. He can't make the players play. Like you can't make players be good. If they're not good, they're not good. But, dude, the coaching, and I talked about this last night with Goolsby, the coaching, like the adjustments, the preparation has been on point, and the culture aspect of this team, which is one of those like intangible things. It's hard to put your finger on it because, like, what does that really mean? You see it when you have all these injuries. No one bats an eye. They rally around each other. They believe in each other. It feels like a team of destiny, and I truly believe. And look, folks, when I mention NIU, when I mention that game, you know what a lot of people say? Mike, don't say that. Don't talk about it. Don't do it. Hell yeah, I'm going to talk about it. Hell yeah, I'm going to talk about NIU because I think it's the best thing that ever happened to Notre Dame. That NIU game is the best thing that ever happened to Notre Dame because Marcus Freeman has been a completely different person. Completely different person since Northern Illinois. Freeman, I feel like his first 2 years, and even him as a DC, like he could get real high, right? Like the highs are high and the lows are lows. Like now, steady. He beats Georgia. He's chilling. Beat Penn State, chilling. Like he doesn't seem to get too high. He doesn't seem to get too low. Like he is just, I'm not trying to win the press anymore. He's not trying to have like cool, little quotes in the press conference or, hey, let's win Twitter. You don't care about that crap anymore. He doesn't care about that crap. He's about winning football games. A couple quick things, real quick. I need to post this on the Blue and Gold message board as well. But I'll throw it to you guys first. And by the way, look at this. Look at this. So you go over to the website, blueandgold.com. We already got tons of content. Go to see offers here. $1 for 7 days. Read the fine print and everything, guys. It's $1 for 7 days. Go check it out. Go check it out. If you like it, I'm telling you, when it will renew at full price after that, you'll still love it. You'll love it. The message board, the talk with thousands of Notre Dame fans, all the recruiting content. It's slow in recruiting right now, but in 2 weeks from today, is it the 25th? They have a junior day with a ton of recruits coming to campus. We've already reported on them, or most of them, I should say. or so recruiting coverage will pick back up. Like, it's going to be busy in the off season. So right now, I'm doing a show every day. You got John Kennedy, like for the YouTube side of things, everyone's and their brother is doing a ton of YouTube stuff, right? Everyone and their brother is doing a ton of articles, but things slow down. You're going to want your Notre Dame fix still in the off season. That's where you go to blueandgold.com. I'm telling you guys, you will love it. You really will. So here are those two little notes that I teased for a second there. One, I was talking to a former Notre Dame assistant coach yesterday, and he hasn't been on the staff for a few years now. He was maybe, anyways, he hasn't been at Notre Dame for a little while, but he has been on staff since Freeman has been on staff when he left for Cincinnati or left Cincinnati to come to Notre Dame. Anyways, he told me, he's like, I can't believe I left Notre Dame. He said, I can't believe I left Notre Dame. Everyone wants to be at Notre Dame right now. Notre Dame is the place to be. Like, people in the college football ranks, like, they're so fired up about Notre Dame. And then when I'm texting like sources in the building and stuff, like a congratulations message after a big win, like that we've seen the past few weeks, I get back, got one more, or got two more, or hey, it's just the beginning. There's no letdown. There is no, hey, let's accept our flowers. It is all about the next one. Naturally, you're like, man, you just beat Georgia. And it's like, all right, now we're playing Penn State. And in the past decade, who's the better football team? What's the better program? Who are you more scared of? It's Georgia. So you go and play Penn State. It's like, you can let off the gas a little bit. We beat Georgia. We can beat Penn State. That mindset did not creep in. Not at all. And I thought going into the game that Penn State was going to be a bigger test for Notre Dame than Georgia was. And I think we saw that on the field. All right, let's go to 574, and then we'll take 517 next. But 574, you're on the line, man. What's your name?
Hey, man. First, love the show. So thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
And second, I've
I need your name.
Lifelong. yeah, thanks.
No, I need your name. What is your name?
Oh, sorry, James.
Okay, what's up, James?
My bad, man. It's not much, man. I went to the Orange Bowl. I loved it. Went to the IU game at home. Anecdotal evidence. Notre Dame typically plays better at home. Maybe not in the Freeman eras. It's been pretty even. But are you worried about? It feels like the other fans have been traveling better. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to impact the game?
Like the fans, like the fan percentage.
Ohio State just floods the stadium, and it's just like, I mean, Penn State had way more fans.
Flooded Ohio Stadium, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, I think so. Penn State was because I was at the Orange Bowl. I think it was like 65-35, somewhere between 60-40 and 70-30. So I would just say 65-35. And my view from my seat, like I couldn't see like the 300 level, and then like underneath me I couldn't see, but there was a lot of white in the Notre Dame section, and there wasn't a lot of blue or green gold in the whiteout section. Yeah, but for the national championship game, like, you got to remember there's also a lot of neutrals that go there. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like, the big wigs, they go, or they give tickets to whomever, and to show off or whatever. So, but I would still think that's a small percentage, right? I would still think it'll be probably 60-65% Ohio State. That would be my guess. While Notre Dame is such a national fan base, they have fans everywhere. I mean, what your big contingency in like Colorado or Arizona or California? Like, are they? I don't know why I said Colorado first. Or are they traveling to Atlanta? Whereas if you're in Ohio, like a 9-hour drive, 10-hour drive. It's like, just drive down. I mean, how many I know Ohio State has a national fan base too, but it's much more in the Midwest, in Ohio, than Notre Dame's is in Indiana. So is it a concern, James? No, not really. It's not going to be like a freaking home field advantage for Ohio State. There's just going to be more cheering for Ohio State, but we've seen Notre Dame fans, like when Notre Dame's playing at A&M and it's late, Notre Dame's winning, you hear the "Let's Go Irish" chants. Like you heard "Let's Go Irish" chants on Thursday night. So I'm not worried about it. Like it's not going to be like, oh man, can Riley Leonard hear out there? It's not going to be anything like that.
Sweet. I love the take, man. Go Irish. Irish by a million. So.
All right, James. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for calling in. All right, we're going to go to 517 in just a minute. A couple comments I had queued up here. Frank and Beans Barbecue. You going to send me a sample, brother? I remember subscribing to Blue and Gold Illustrated 30 years ago when it was a newspaper. What do you mean was? What do you mean was? Still. It's transitioned to a magazine. I mean, this is potato, tomato, but dude, we still are going. And this is, you go to bluegoldonline.com /store, and you can pick up this issue of a Blue and Gold Illustrated, man. We are still rocking and rolling. Post-game summary of the Indiana, Georgia, and Penn State games, and it has a preview of the national championship game. So I'm telling you, folks, just grab this. It might look. It's 2025. Shipping sucks these days, right? Like things take forever. You may not get this before the national championship game, but you want this to have. You want this to have. Listen, if I were you guys, I'm not doing this because I get them for free, right? I work for Blue and Gold. But if I were you, I would buy 5 of these. Buy 5 of them. There's 247 available in stock. Ooh, you guys, I would buy 5 of them. Unless you're already a Blue and Gold Illustrated magazine subscriber, you will get this. But if I were a Notre Dame fan, I'd buy 5 of them right now. It's going to cost you, what, $50 after taxes. I think shipping's free. Yeah. I'd do it right now. Have 1 or 2 for yourself. Gift 1 to your grandpa for Christmas, right? Hold it. Give it to your son who you watch Notre Dame football with down the line, and you guys watch this playoff run together. Hold that for him. Give it to him. This is a keepsake. This is history, folks. Get this magazine. Don't be like Frank and Beans and be like, ooh, when it was. We still are. I think you can get them at Martin. Yeah. Wherever locally in South Bend you get them. Yeah, I think you can still get them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Higgs, it's good to see you. So there you go. There you go. Grab it. Yeah, Frank, I love you, man. Actually, I don't know you, so I don't love you. But where's my sample? Can you send me some food, brother? Was it true some Notre Dame players had the flu or that? Yes, it was true. It was true. It was overblown. It was overblown, but it was true. Right? What Horka reported was not false. It just like blew up more than we all expected. I think Horka may, if he were able to do that tweet again, like downplay it a little bit, but because like it was just taken to a different level that was anticipated. Anthony says, will Notre Dame be the home team and wear blue and gold? They are the home team because they are the higher seed. That's how this works in neutral site games. But I can't see them wearing anything but the blue jerseys. I would be stunned if we see green. I don't know. Maybe they'll wear white again. Maybe they'll choose to wear white because they won the last 2. But I would assume they're going to wear blue. And if they wear black, I They're not busting out any crazy jerseys, guys. It's going to be blue. Yeah, all greens is not going to happen. What's the link to the blue and gold end of season issue? So we will do another issue for the national championship game, but this is the link, bluegoldonline.com. That is your link to the magazine. So yeah, check it out, bluegoldonline.com. You can also subscribe to the magazines all year. So it's monthly during the football season, regular season, and then monthly in the off season. It's cheap. It's cheap. It's all considering what you get. It's cheap. You just got to understand the shipping in 2025. It can take a minute, but I've got a tub of all of my blue and golds from the past 5 years that I have been covering Notre Dame, and I absolutely love it. Okay, 517. Sorry for the hold. You're on the line. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Mike. My name's Joe Cool in the chat, but real name's Brandon. Calling in from Michigan.
All right, what's going on?
Not much, man. But after watching the Ohio State game last night, I'm pretty pumped up about this game now because I think the way Texas beat them was just awesome. Well, they didn't beat them, but the way they played them was awesome because to shut their wide receivers down the way they did, if we could do that, I think we win this game easily.
All right, here's my question for you, Brandon. When I watched that, I was encouraged, right? But then I get on Twitter and I'm scrolling. I see national people talking about, man, Ohio State beat Texas by 2 touchdowns. Now, I think we can all agree the final score wasn't an indicative of how the game went, but still, they factually did win by 2 touchdowns, and they didn't even play well. So I don't know, you can kind of look at this glass half full, glass half empty. That's definitely the glass half empty take. You're taking the glass half full. I don't know, man. Regardless, I say it's going to be a tough opponent. I do think 9.5 is a little too favorable for, or thinking too highly of Ohio State. No, you know what? It's probably not even that.
I do too.
Too lowly of Notre Dame. Notre Dame has been monsters at covering the spread under Freeman. He covers almost every single time.
100%. Because I just felt like if you shut the wide receivers down, you got way better of a chance of beating them. 100%. Because I just feel their wide receivers obviously are way better than ours. But if we can just stop them, I think our run game is better than theirs. They can say all they want about their running backs, but Love is awesome. Yep. He's the best, hands down. So in my opinion, let us run the ball. Don't let them run the ball, or don't let them throw the ball, and we're set. I feel like we win this thing pretty good.
I like the confidence.
But that's just, I know, man. It's just, I wasn't just confident 2 days ago. If I'd have called in 2 days ago, I'd have been like, yeah, dude, Ohio State's going to
Yeah, I'm with you. Brandon, appreciate the call, brother. There is a little recency bias with Ohio State based on the Oregon and Tennessee games, right? Like he said a couple days ago. But you look at their schedule and their results, and you go through, it's like, oh, we'll pull it up together. Ohio State schedule. Hold on, let me pop this back up on the screen. Boom. We're going to go about another half hour, by the way, guys. So if you're wanting to call in, go ahead and call in now. They lost to Oregon. That game was incredible. I'm not going to hold that against them. 4-point win. Home against Nebraska. That Penn State-Ohio State game was ugly. The Indiana game just shot themselves in the... Indiana played terribly. That first half was tight, and Indiana just... They drop a punt or something, or the punter dropped the ball or something stupid. I can't remember exactly. And then you lose to a bad Michigan team at home. And it's like, all right, we're just going to turn on. We're going to crush Tennessee when there was so much orange in that stadium. We're going to crush Oregon, go to the West Coast where Oregon's located, beat up on them. So they just flipped the script, but then the Texas game reminded us they are human. But then you can look at it on the other side of things and be like, well, they didn't play well and still won by a couple touchdowns. Real quick before we take another couple calls, that Jeremiah Smith receiver for Ohio State, look at him tweeting crazy in response to Texas had 3 players bracketing Jeremiah Smith at times. That's a good bit. Like, so Texas said, we're not letting Jeremiah Smith beat you. Now, does Notre Dame do this? You see how this safety is playing on the hash? You don't see Notre Dame safeties do this much. So this means that there's a safety. They have 2 high safeties. Notre Dame does not really play 2 high safeties. They don't play it much. It's usually Watts back there. Alone. And Schuler's coming up most times, right? I don't have any percentage for you, but what Al Golden and company do to prepare for these guys is going to be fascinating, because Emeka Egbuka is a really good receiver too. And I mean, Leonard Moore is fantastic, but you're still like, are you going to leave him in one-on-one coverage all night? Leave Christian Gray, who has made incredible plays, and we love Christian Gray, but at times he gives up plays. Leonard Moore, can give up plays as well. So when you're on an island and you have, Ohio State's O-line is more than capable, to win battles in the trenches. Will Howard is a good quarterback. He's not, I don't want to say he's like fantastic, but he can get the job done. He's got them to the national championship game. It's going to be fascinating, how Al Golden plans to stop Ohio State. Is he try to do things that they haven't seen? Do you see more zone? I don't know. Is it we're going to do what got us here, or are we going to mix things up? A little bit of both? I don't know. Mike, $2 super chat. Problem for Notre Dame is Ohio State knows Notre Dame will try to copy it. Copy what we just saw? Yeah, you commented this a minute ago. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. They're good players, man. Yeah, Carnell Tate's really good. All of these guys Notre Dame recruited. Emeka Egbuka, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson. I don't think Jeremiah Smith. They didn't have a chance. They may have offered Tate obviously was a huge one for Notre Dame out of Chicago. And the Irish 8 said, "Why did Texas wear white? Should have worn burnt orange." They had the opportunity. They're the higher seed, right? They were the 5. Ohio State was the 8, but they picked white. So that's how that roll. Oh my gosh! Sorry, everyone just called in. Let me get all of these in here. Let me accept all of these. We had 689 has been sitting in for a while. 689, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, Notre Dame fans. This is Swandong.
Can you please? I literally. Sometimes I want to pop your comments up, but I can't, because that picture, it's horrifying with your name. What's up, Swan?
Hey, man, I'm sorry you don't like my picture, but it's a fun one.
It's hysterical, but I'm trying to run an operation here, and you got a swan with a hot dog.
Yeah, no, that's my Discord picture and everything too. But no, I was just calling to say that we need to beat the hell out of that red-faced alcoholic stepdad-looking dude.
All right, so this is the call.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah.
All right. Well, what's the other part?
Well, I just was wondering, what do you think? How do you think Texas's defense compares to Notre Dame's, and seeing what we can do?
I'm not the right person to ask, man. I can't say I've watched a ton. I was just looking to see if you're in my Discord. I don't see you.
No,
it's a little too it's too exclusive for you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm not the right person to ask. I haven't watched as much Texas as probably most of you guys have, so I'm not the right person to ask. I'm not going to speak out of turn.
Okay, yeah.
Their defense is talented. Yeah,
No, they look
it's
good, but I just
yeah,
with the injuries we have, I don't know if we can even keep up with them at this point. But
yeah.
we're going to keep supporting them. Let's go Irish.
I'm fascinated to see if Golden wants to take things out of Texas's playbook and like I don't know. Or is it going to be more of the same? It's probably going to be a mix. Things that Michigan did, like I really hope they use Lou Holtz and fire up Ryan Day. I really do.
I think that could go either way with that. If we fire them up, it's either going to give him more ammo or it's just going to make him so mad he can't think.
No, Lou Holtz just got to say something about Ryan Day and just
Exactly.
anything else, Juan?
Nope, that's it. We're good.
All right. You enjoy your weekend, everybody.
You as well. Thank you.
All right. Got Mike Miller, repeat caller. This isn't Mike Miller, our photographer, is it?
No.
Oh, our photographer at Blue and Gold's name, Mike Miller. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, man, I got a question. Well, I got two for you. But first one is because I can just foresee. I mean, we did get a lot of love this run from the media and such. But if this game doesn't go our way, is this going to be a 2000? Is it going to be the Alabama championship narrative again, or how do you compare those runs? Like, what are we talking there?
So if it doesn't go Notre Dame's way, I mean, the big difference is when Notre Dame plays Bama in Miami, 12, 13 years ago, or they play Clemson in the years 18. Or they play Bama in 2020. And it's hard to remember because then these games happen in January. It was the 2020 season, but January 2021. The difference is those are all first round / BCS era. This one is you beat Georgia. You like this, and it's not just like Georgia from 20 years ago. Like this is Georgia, the SEC champions. Like, is it as good as a Georgia team from 2-3 years ago? No, but like it's still SEC champs. You beat the SEC champs, beat the Big Ten runner-ups, like, and you also beat Indiana, another top 10 team. Indiana's only losses this year are to the two teams playing in the national championship game. Yeah, I mean, if Notre Dame gets the doors beaten off of them, or if they lose by 3 points, there are going to be, let's just call a spade a spade. There's going to be assholes on social media talking crap about Notre Dame. Because going back to what I said earlier in the show, some people just don't like Notre Dame. And there are trolls, and they're going to say what they want, but it doesn't matter. But you're like neutral, smart person in the world who follows college football will be like, yeah, they didn't beat Ohio State. And you like using your scenario here, like if they lose, they didn't beat Ohio State, but man, they deserve to be in that game. They deserve to be in the playoff, right? You can argue about seeing they deserve to be in the playoff. They beat Indiana by 10. They beat Georgia by 13. And they beat Penn State fair and square. So if they lose to Ohio State, they belong there. They want. People talk about the schedule for Notre Dame. When you go back and look at it, yeah, Florida State was down, right? You still beat A&M on the road. You beat USC on the road. Army, Navy ended up being 2 quality wins. Louisville, quality win. And then you add in the playoff run. It ended up being quite the difficult schedule.
Yeah. The way you broke that down, that is a different feel because they got these multiple CFP wins. So you're right. I just need some ammunition to battle that later. If it don't go around pulling for the Irish,
So,
I really
Mike,
hope they do.
So are you Indianapolis?
Yeah.
So you have a melting pot of a lot of different fan bases in there, right? I mean, you got your IU, your Purdue. I'm sure Ohio State fans, Notre Dame fans. Am I right?
Yeah, one of my best friends is Ohio State. I've had to deal with that during that series. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, if Ohio State wins, he is one of the few who has a legitimate claim to give you crap because Like if Ohio State's beat Notre Dame, it's 3 wins in the past 3 years over Notre Dame. Like they legitimately, I mean, the national champs, they have a right, but everyone else, no, not right now. Not right now.
I got you. And I didn't know if you caught any of that Cam Newton hate that's been going on ESPN versus the Irish. Any catching of that?
Yeah, I talked about that, man. It's just like if you hate Notre Dame, that's fine. There's schools I don't like. There's schools you don't like.
It's like there's nothing that we can do to please
and
that.
So that's the thing. Like if you're like, man, I was proven wrong about Notre Dame. If people admit they're wrong about a team, like, yeah, I get it. Like, hey, kudos to you. Like, we're all wrong. We're all wrong sometimes. But teams can impress you, and things can change. You can change your opinion. But if you're just like Cam Newton, I'm just going to keep doubling down. Just going to double down on the same thing, and I'm not like they're just trolls. You just got to ignore them.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll break this down later in the week, but I want to know some comparison to this defensive front. The front seven will be facing maybe some safeties creeping down, but versus what we ran against, because sometimes our running game gets stalled, and I don't see its maximum potential. But then we get a play here, play there, and we kind of extend the drive. But I'm curious how effective you think will be. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, and keep doing that great work. You're my number one show. Thanks.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you, man. How it going? Good caller. Yeah, when this software I use, I save people's names. So when you tell me your name, I save you in. So that is nice. So good call from Mike. Yeah, well, Tim, I'm planning on having my Tim Hyde show Tuesday, and then I'm hoping to do Goolsby and Tim Friday. Usually I'm not doing Friday night shows, but I think Friday, or maybe we'll do Thursday with those guys. So we'll definitely dive into the X's and O's of this matchup. We have about 10-15 minutes left in the show, and I have 5 callers queued up. So probably not going to get the 847 who just called in. I'm probably not going to get to you. But I mean, you're welcome to stay on the line and we'll see, but I probably will not. Trying to remember the order here. 973, you're on the line, and then we'll go to Mark. 973, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Drew from New Jersey. How you doing, Mike?
Drew, what's going on, man?
So do you think it's a guarantee that Jagasol is going to start?
A guarantee. I mean, I don't know the status of the other guys. I couldn't tell you, man.
He was unbelievable.
He was.
In a little bit he played, he's got such a mean streak in him. There was one play somebody knocked down Carter, and he just piled on top and drove right into the guy. Unbelievable.
We just got our magazine, like our customer service lady said, there are 4 dozen orders already. You guys have already ordered 4 dozen of that magazine that I was just plugging. That is incredible. That's incredible. You guys are awesome. All right, Drew, what's up? What else was on your mind?
All right, then in the Penn State game, I know it happens all the time in the pile, but 15 on Leonard's touchdown run, the play before, 15 freaking grabs Leonard by the crotch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Irish Sports Daily picture of that. Yeah. Let me pull it up. I'm sure Matt wouldn't mind if I pull it up. Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't get much more talk about it, because Leonard jumps right up and starts pointing at the guy and grabbing his crotch, and nothing ever came out of it.
Here it is, tweet from Matt Freeman. Matt does great work at Irish Sports Daily. Dude, I every time I see this picture, I don't know what to make of it. Where's this arm even? Is it this guy behind? I don't know, man. I got no thoughts for you other than I laugh every single time I look at this. Poor Leonard, just like you can't see what the hand is doing. It could have just been like, wow, that's a snapshot of a singular moment in time where it didn't look good. But
as soon as he jumps up, he points at him, and then
Leonard
starts bending over. Leonard starts grabbing his own crotch.
Oh,
because he's in pain from it.
Gosh. Yeah,
check out the replay.
There's no place for that. And then just like the Texas A&M guy in the bowl game, where he just like looks at the player on the ground and steps on him, like you're like banned from the sport, banned instantly. If I were president, vote Mike Singer in 2028. Banned. You're done. You're done. Like you're not playing. You do not.
That happens all the time in those piles. So this time it was just a clear shot to catch him doing it.
It's insane.
All right, Mike. Thanks.
All right,
Irish. You guys are the best.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, let's go to Mark. Old Eeyore, Mark with glasses. Hi, Mark.
Hey, what's going on? I got a couple Orange Bowl takeaways and then a complaint, but I'm going to label it as a question. I think all things considered, this is Freeman's best coaching job because of the winning a game like that with the long stretches of looking like shit. Everything was a struggle. I just think to win a big game like that against a good team is, just signs of good coaching. And just for perspective on kind of how he's doing, I saw the stat where he's got 14 top 25 wins, and that's tied for the most the last 3 seasons. And he's 5-1 in the postseason against ranked teams. But my question is the end of the game. I know it's easy to kind of nitpick and complain about play calling. And I'm wondering if anybody else
Mark
had a problem.
You need to change your name from Mark with glasses. And yes, I'm snacking. Reese, this is the best thing ever. Reese's Animal Crackers. I'm telling you, it is the best thing ever. All right, what's your complaint? Mark with complaints.
Well, I'm gonna label it as a question because I don't know if it is something or nothing. So, with a minute left, we have it at midfield with all 3 timeouts. We benefited from that 15-yard penalty. Okay. And
what was the penalty? Remind me.
It was hands to the face.
Oh, Jaguar. Yeah, I remember.
So the play calling, we do 3 consecutive passing plays. On first down, Leonard scrambled for 5, and then second down, incomplete, third down, sack. So 3 pass plays and a punt. And my question is, in that scenario, like the risk reward, like I know the field position, you can afford to be a little more aggressive, but I don't understand with Leonard's, kind of game how he's playing with the 2 picks.
Mark, I haven't been able to rewatch the game, but was that the drive where they got the game? They got the ball with like a minute. Right. They had the ball like 2.5 minutes, and they were running to start that drive, right? Like they just run, and it was like they're really taking their time here. Is that drive? And then they punt, and then Aller throws the pick. Is that what happened?
Right. So my point is,
your question is,
we either win or go to overtime there.
So you're like Notre Dame shouldn't have been throwing the ball because they needed to take care of the ball, but they did take care of the ball?
Well, again, he got sacked, incomplete pass. So
Mark, I love you. You're complaining about something that didn't even happen.
Play calls.
You're complaining about something.
You could have lost that game, is what I'm saying.
But they didn't.
In that scenario,
Mark,
it goes to overtime.
Mark,
or you win the game.
And they did win the game. What are we talking about?
Well, my question is, looking at the play calling, does anybody else have a problem with that? Because I found that a little concerning. Where, again, in that scenario, field position, you either win or take it to overtime. The risk reward of, he already threw two picks. The one pick was right to the other guy. Our best players are running backs.
Yeah, but you can't
and
keep
then
running the ball.
I don't know.
I
You get
mean,
3 timeouts. Why can't you run the ball?
I don't think they had 3 timeouts. I think they had.
Yeah, they had 3 timeouts. They're at midfield. 3 consecutive play calls. He scrambles for 5, so it's 2nd and 5, incomplete, and then he takes a sack. And to me, that's a missed opportunity.
All right, I don't know what to tell you. Call the president.
It's just a question. It's just a question, and I know nitpicking all's well that ends well. But anyways, with the Ohio State game, what worries me is their big playability. I got Notre Dame 27-24, and I think the defense is good enough to hang around the game. But
Mark, I remember
I'm worried about the offense.
When Tim Hyde and Steve Angeli won the national title game, right? Old Sweaty Mike Twitch dynasty. I win. Mark,
I think he adjusted the sliders.
When Mike Singer wins it, right? Or excuse me, Tim Hyde. What does Mark with Glasses ask in the press conference? Oh, you lost the third quarter.
You lost the second half. You were outscored in the second half. You got conservative and started celebrating too easy.
But you know what? I won.
Game almost got away from you, didn't
Well,
it?
I mean, Mark, let yourself be happy. Let yourself be happy. Be happy.
Well, see,
just be happy,
but
Mark.
the thing is, if we lose that game,
but they didn't,
and they do those 3 consecutive plays,
Mark, you're not a coach or a player. Mark, you don't have to. You don't. Mark, are Mark. You don't game plan. You don't have to worry about that. Let the coaches worry about that. You, Mark, just be happy.
I definitely understand that. That's why I'm framing it as a question. I just found it odd that they would expose the, kind of risk the.
But Mark, they punted. It was fine. And then they got the ball back. Leonard dinks it to Greathouse. They get in field goal position. They win the game. I think there's a lot better things to nitpick about that game. If you want to nitpick the referees, do you want to nitpick some throws from Riley Leonard? Do you want to
Riley Leonard throwing it over?
And he had to.
One of our running backs having the ball.
And guess what? He threw the ball to Greathouse to pick up the first down to get Jeter into field goal range. Like, they did have to throw the football late, and it worked out. Like, you're going to have to throw the football. Can't just keep running it every single play, Mark. You're going to have to put the ball in your quarterback's hands sometimes.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I just at the moment I just thought that.
Yeah, it may not have been perfect play calling, Mark, but
I would have liked
it was okay.
Running back.
It was okay. Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20. What else, Mark?
All right.
You got anything else?
27-24. Go Irish.
27-24. Go Irish. You're going to that score again, or are you just repeating the Penn State score?
No, I think maybe I was the same. Love you.
Love you too, Mark. All right. 847. Sorry, we're not going to be able to get to your call. This is our last call. We got Steven from Huntsville, Alabama. Steven, you making it? You making it to the game?
Are you not pumped or what, man?
Oh, I'm pumped.
Not pumped or what, man?
Ryan from South Bend calling in. I'm not going to be able to take your call, brother. Sorry. This is our last call. Steven, you going to the game?
Mike, I wish I could. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford the tickets and the travel.
It's
but
expensive.
Dude, it is amazing, man. I mean, we are going to make Will Howard cry like we made Caleb Williams cry last year. Ryan Day's freaking rosy red chicks are going to turn white when he sees what we do to them, man. I'm so pumped about this. It's going to happen, Mike. I'm telling you, we're going to make this. Ohio State team is not perfect. I've seen them be sloppy too, man. Every team is defeatable this year, and I really think we can do this, man. I'm so pumped for it. I hope you are too. Go Irish, man. We got it.
Steven, appreciate the call, brother. Guys fired up. Love it. Love it. All right, that is it for the calls. A couple things before we sign off today, and really appreciate everyone tuning in. The super chats from Carl. How about this? Excuse me. I don't remember if I talked about this. Is this prophecy? Look at this tweet from December 12th. Okay. Simulated college football playoff results using K Ford ratings to simulate the selection committee CFP bracket. Everything has been perfect. They predicted Ohio State, Notre Dame. National champs, Notre Dame. Now you look at this tweet over here. This is from last Friday. Does your model still have Notre Dame over Ohio State? That just seems off to me, given the way they're both currently playing. Kelly responds, no, this was before any CFP games were played. Ohio State is the current favorite. So it's changed, but this was accurate the whole way. By the way, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Do you guys see like the behind me, the blue background? This is the OG one. This is the one we've been doing recently, right? You got the little ND logo right here. This is the old one. This is like pre-2022. This is what we used to do. I want to throw it back to the OGs. I hope some of you guys noticed that. Mark, it was a legitimate question. Bro, you can question everything that the coaches do, but it's just like, guys, what are we doing here? Just be like, guys, it's okay to be happy. It's okay. And if we're going to question something, that is not it. I'm going to question Mike Denbrock's play calling because it could have gone bad. The hell? That is it? Well, it could have gone bad, but it didn't. It's fine. What am I looking at right now? I didn't even see it. Oh, Mike, you're a Buckeye fan? Okay. Like the little Super Smash Bros. Little profile picture you got there. I didn't see this. Swandong. I didn't see it. That thing throws me off. All right, folks. Have you hit the thumbs up yet? We're an hour. I haven't even said that yet. Hit the thumbs up on this video, of course. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. I'm telling you, if you have not done so yet, pick up this magazine. The link is bluegoldonline.com. Swandong, appreciate the 5. Pick it up. Come on. I'm telling you, get a few of these. That 247 available. Let's see if that number changes when I refresh. 211. They went from 247 available down to 211. Pick it up. Pick it up while you can. 80 pages. 80 pages. This thing is an absolute keepsake. BlueGoldOnline.com. I'm a bit behind. Good question, Mark. Guys, the question in a vacuum is fine. But there's about 100 play calls, offense, defense, whatever, that you can question. The problem is right now, that's what we want to talk about. We're going to call into Mike Singer's show. And my big question is about, well, what if it didn't work? Mike, why did we let Jeter kick the game-winning field goal? He could have missed it. It could have been blocked and gone back the other way for a touchdown. Oh, Mark. All right, fun show, everyone. It's fun. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, we literally had to turn callers away. We had so much action, great viewership. If you're just watching replay, watch the beginning. We had some good stuff, good calls from everyone. Even Mark's call was good, even though I had just the questions like, why, what are we doing here? But yeah, appreciate everyone for tuning in. I will be live next day, Saturday. I mean, look, you can rewatch the Goolsby show from last night if you haven't. Go watch the post-game show if you haven't watched that yet. I go live literally 30 seconds after the game's over. It was loud in there. It was fun. I mean, I'm like watching the celebration on the field while talking about the game with Tim. It was fantastic. We won't do a show Sunday. I'm sure we'll do something Monday. I'm planning to do show with Tim and Goolsby, show with the Blue and Gold beat writers. I'm gonna hit up like Chris Zorich to get on the show this week. He's been a recurring guest. We're gonna have a lot of fun this week. So lock in his Blue and Gold YouTube channel, blueandgold.com, $1 for 7 days, and then get that magazine, bluegoldonline.com. We got to sell this bad boy out. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next time.